Tempotec has an IEM, just one, the IM05, their first. Who knew? Or maybe you might be asking, Tempo who? Tempotec is not one of the better-known audio companies, though they've been around since 2005. The creation, according to their website, of a multinational group of engineers dedicated to bringing high-quality audio to a wider audience by producing reasonably priced, high-performance products. They are perhaps best known for several dongle dacs, from the Apple dongle-like $20 Sonata HD2 to the new top-of-the-line, desktop-quality but dongle-sized Sonata BHD Pro at $90. They also produce what might be the least expensive, full-featured, full Android-based digital audio player in the $370 V6. Then they have a $270 streaming DAC amp, the Serenade X, and a $130 compact desktop DAC amp, the March 3. Except for dongle DACs, each of their product lines consists of a single product. I mean, if you're going to make good stuff, why make more than one of anything? And they do make good stuff. I own the March 3, and it competes in features and specs, and in sound, with desktop DAC amps costing at least twice, maybe up to 3 times as much. And the few reviewers who have discovered Tempotec's other products have been, mostly, equally impressed. And now, they have an IEM, and it is an ambitious and impressive first offering. I should say right here that after I reached out to them and shared my review of the March 3, Tempotec sent me the new IEM for review. I'll do my best not to let that influence what I have to say here. At $140, the IM05 features 5 drivers in a lightweight plastic shell, your choice of either clear or black, with a matching brushed aluminum faceplate with their name on one earpiece and their logo on the other. It is lightweight, has a semi-custom fit design, and is certainly among the most comfortable IEMs these years have yet worn. They are relatively efficient and easy to drive with any phone, dongle, or DAC. The IM05s are provided with a relatively high-quality, oxygen-free, silver-plated cable, a couple of sets of generic silicon ear tips, and a very nice, though slightly large, hard round silicon zippered case with nice padding inside. The case is totally unbranded, but unlike some cases you get, the zipper actually works pretty well. All this comes in a nice minimalist black box with interesting and quite clever layers inside to hold the various components. Pretty classy. The drivers are an 8mm liquid silicon rubber dynamic driver, 2 BAs for the mid-bass through the upper mids, and 2 BAs for the upper mids through the treble. The treble BAs are Knowles. I cannot seem to find the maker of the mid BAs, though Tempotec provides the part number on their website, but I am assuming that they are of similar quality. I have the clear shell, so I can see what appears to be an electronic crossover, as well as a full set of frequency tuning tubes. Interestingly, the bass tube has a Y in it and runs from both the front and the back of the dynamic driver. The BAs are paired, and each set has a single tube running to the nozzle. These 2 tubes are a slightly different size and length, presumably for better tuning. There's a grill over the nozzle, but no filter that I can see. There is also a single, fairly large tuning hole, integrated interestingly into the IM05 logo on each side, where the 0 is, and it's not a simple hole in the plastic. It has a brass insert machined to give proper tuning. All in all, it looks like Tempotec put some care and thought, and presumably some skill, into selecting components and their technical design. But how do they sound? Big, bold, unapologetically fun, with a powerful bass and lots of sparks and twinkles in the high end, a spacious stage, excellent instrument placement, and decent detail. These are maybe not tuned for the audiophile, though I think even an audiophile might have to admit that they're fun to listen to. The one graph I've seen on Squiglink shows them as a pretty deep V, but they don't sound that way to my ears. The bass is certainly emphasized, heavy, a bit blunted on poorly recorded tracks, but the kind of bass where you feel the thump in your ear canals, in your skull, in your teeth. And yet it does not bleed into the mids, which, despite the graph, are clear and clean and present. Not forward, but not recessed either. Vocals and instrumentals that live in the vocal range, from cello and guitar to piano and violin, are rendered very well, with a natural, open sound. The graph shows some spikes in the treble, but they are apparently very carefully placed. Cymbals and chimes and claps are natural, if a little forward in the mix, and there is no harshness added to the vocals and instruments. There's a good sense of air and detail. They do remarkably well on the music I listen to. I think the sense of space and detail are their saving grace, the thing that lifts them out of the realm of the ordinary garish, muddy V-shaped tuning and makes them so satisfying and fun to listen to. Even on classical music, and especially on classical crossover, there's enough detail and an interesting enough soundstage to keep the experience engaging, even though you know the bass is probably too loud and the cymbals a bit too forward. On rock and pop and other vocal-centric music, the IM05s are right in their element, delivering the vocals cleanly against a powerful, pulsing, shimmering curtain of sound. Again, if you consider yourself an audiophile and only listen to neutral, natural IEMs, you might not want to admit that you like the IM05s, but I expect you will find them, at least occasionally, just as much fun as I do. The IM05s are, by the way, an excellent match for the Tempotec March 3. When an existing, if underappreciated, auto company like Tempotec introduces its first ever IEM, you really do not know what to expect. I mean, what are they trying to do? Are they just filling out their line, or are they trying to do something new or something better? Or perhaps they're trying to offer the same level of value they have managed with their other products, just now in an IEM. Do they just go out and buy an existing IEM off the shelf from some other chi-fi house and put their label on it? Or do they work up a design of their own, source the parts, have the housing made, work out the tuning, and package something that stands a chance of standing out, for good or for bad? I can't say for sure what Tempotec did, or what their goal was, but I can say that it sounds and looks to me like more than a little thought and care went into the $140 IM05. When the Aful Performer 5 was introduced only just a bit over a year ago, at just over $200, it was pretty revolutionary. This 1+4 configuration with crossover and tuning tubes, it was rare in an IEM costing under $300. There are still only a few. The newly released Simgot EM6L, or Phoenix as it's sometimes called, among them. But this configuration has a lot going for it. I've already said that I like the Phoenix better than the Aful Performer 5, even though it comes in at half the price. The Simgot EM6L is a great and very safe IEM. The IM05 is a very different IEM than the Phoenix. Bigger, more spacious, more bold, not a safe sound at all. Those who like the Performer 5 might not like the IM05 as well, but it is certainly, to my ears, just as much fun. And if fun is the thing you're after, it's actually, to my ear, more fun. And I've saved the best part for last. Right now, Tempotec is offering an introductory special discount of $70 on the IM05 through their website. That means that you can get the IM05 for $70. And at that price, it might just be too much fun to pass up.